We continue where the previous part of this story left off. The next morning, Lincoln wakes up in his room, goes to bathroom, does his routine there, leaves it, goes back to his room, and changes into his everyday clothes. He addresses the readers. Lincoln, to readers, I don't know if Lori was serious about yesterday, that no matter how harsh the damage was over time, she'll still love me to the end. I'm not sure myself, to be honest, but if she really decided to start actually loving me back, then I'll do it. I love my family too, and I will never, ever trade them for the world. Wish me luck out there, guys. He leaves his room, and that's when we finally enter the main focus of this story, Lincoln having special bonding time with all of his family. This time, he'll be doing this with all of his sisters, from youngest to eldest. From Lily to Lori, then it'll be his parents' turn. Lily. Lincoln is in the kitchen, wanting some milk. He opens the fridge, gets out the carton of milk, then freezes for 5 seconds, sighs, and puts the milk back in the fridge. He goes to the living room, sits on the couch, and watches some TV. Some minutes later, he felt tugging at his feet, looks down, and sees his youngest sister, Lily. Lincoln, oh hey, Lily. Picks her up. Lily, hey, Winky. Gets sad, sorry. Lincoln, you're sorry? She nods. Lincoln, for what? Lily, diaper and judging the Wind West scandal. Lincoln, you're sorry for throwing your diapers and for judging me during that dress incident? She slowly nods from guilt and regret. Lincoln, it's okay, little sis, although I did brought it on myself, when I dissed the others' gifts for parents and interfered with that incident. Lily, I done TCAE, you ma brower, and I wove you, Winky. Lincoln, oh thanks, Lily. I love you too, baby girl. Lily giggles from happiness that her only brother loves her too, hugs and kisses him on nose. The latter returns the favor by hugging Lily too and kissing her on forehead. Lily laughs now from joy. Lincoln, want some chocolate milk? We have some in the fridge. Lily, chocolate. Chocolate. Giggles and claps. Lincoln, I'll take that as yes. Come with me then. He walks into the kitchen while still holding his infant sister. Lincoln opens the fridge, gets out the bottle, full of chocolate milk, puts Lily on her baby chair, opens the bottle, puts on the sucker, and hands it over to Lily. Lincoln, here you go, little sis. Lily picks up the bottle and drinks some chocolate milk. Minutes passed, she has enough and puts the bottle down. Lincoln picks her up and pats Lily on the back until she burps. She giggles and claps again. Lily, wank you, Winky. You the best. She kisses him on cheek and hugs him out of gratitude. Lincoln, you're welcome, little sis. Wanna watch some TV with me? Lily, yeah. Lincoln, then we're doing it. Come on. He picks her up and carries over to the living room. They both sit together on the couch. Lincoln turns on the TV, and then they watch some programs for kids. Several minutes later, they finish watching some TV. Lily is really happy from seeing her favorite cartoon characters. Lily, wank again, Winky. Giggles and claps. Lincoln, you're welcome. Lily again hugs him out of thanks for everything he did for her. Lincoln pats her on the head and goes upstairs. Lily waves him by, while smiling widely. Lisa. He heads to his little prodigy sister's room, to see how is she doing. He looks around, until hears a growling voice that's addressed to him. He turns around, and sees Lisa, who's pissed at him. Lisa, livid, Lincoln loud, you've completely destroyed my life's work. Again. Now I really despise you, and you no longer exist to me. Ever. Lincoln, now scared and closes his eyes from fear, oh no. Then he felt a warm embrace at his feet. Lincoln, HM? He opens his eyes and looks down to see Lisa hugging him, smiling, revealing the outburst to be fake. Lisa, my dear brother. How are you doing? Releases the hug. Lincoln, all fine, just to see how are things with you. Lisa, everything is cool, Lincoln. Actually, I was about to call you over, want to use these with you, my loyal brother. Pulls out a jar, full of unusual looking pills. Lincoln, what are these? Lisa, these are special pills, Lincoln, that give you a cat vision. Lincoln, cat vision? Lisa, affirmative, dear brother. It's like cats feel it in night vision. Felines are excellent in seeing in the dark. Come on, let us proceed to the basement, and try out these unique specimen. Lincoln, okay then. Come on. They now enter the basement, and dim the lights there. Lisa, very well then, Lincoln. Here you go, my loyal brother. She takes out 2 pills out of the bottle, one for herself and one for Lincoln. Both swallow the pills, now they see better in the dark. Lincoln is surprised. Lincoln, whoa, this really works. Thanks, Lisa. Lisa, you are welcome, Lincoln. Now, I have to remind you that the pills do have side effect, but only when withdrawal occurs, so no worries. Lincoln, oh. What will happen though? Lisa, seconds after you experience withdrawal, Lincoln, you will have short-lived headache. Lincoln, oh. Lisa, in any case, now that we see better in the dark, dear brother, why don't we play some board games while those pills with cat vision are still in effect? Lincoln, okay, then how ABOO, man? Lisa, what is it, Lincoln? Then he sees the same AC adapter lying on the floor. Lincoln, that AC adapter. Lisa, it reminds you of something, my loyal brother? Lincoln, yes, oh boy. He closes his eyes, hangs and shakes his head in sadness. And it's not just any adapter, it's the exact one that was used that one time in the middle of infamous footprint incident. He remembers how everything severely went downhill that day. Flashback to events of the greenhouse. Gamer 1, PU. What stinks, suddenly, the TV goes off, and it's revealed that the girls have unplugged it, and are standing in nothing but potato sacks for tops and bandages for shoes. A huge stench is coming out of them. They all look very furious. Lori, game over, Lincoln. Lincoln, panicking, it's not what it looks like. Lori, we're up there making all these sacrifices, and you're down here playing some stupid computer game. Lincoln, okay, so maybe it is what it looks like. Lynn, if you don't want to give anything up, why should we? Lincoln, but. Shows poster of the bear once again, polar bear, the girls are starting to feel remorse again, but this time, unfortunately, they snap out of it. Lola, wait a minute. You can't use that on us anymore. Lori, come on, girls. Let's go get our stuff back. Lenny, holding up her glass of air, and a refill, they do so, and leave the basement. Gamer 2, well, I guess you're going back into the red. Gamer 1, which means you're gonna lose the polar bear challenge for our class. Gamer 2, which means we can't be seen with you. Gamer 1, which means your social life is out the window. The gamers leave the basement as well now, and then the house. Flashback ends, back to present. Lincoln begins to regret everything that happened a while ago. Lincoln, and what the heck was I even thinking of allowing those 2 jerks entering our house? I swear, I'll never talk to those 2 morons ever again. Lisa caresses him, it is all right, dear brother. Besides, it only happened a while ago, it's in the past now. Lincoln, I don't know, but my guilt still can come back to haunt me. Lisa, nonsense, Lincoln. After all, you did took your time and made everything right that day. Lincoln, yeah. Lisa, anyway, what board game should we play? Lincoln, alrighty, little sis. What about your favorite? Pulls out her favorite game, The Settlers of Catland, from a while ago. Lisa, why not? I've been wanting to play that with someone for a while now. Lincoln, okay then. You ready, little sis? Lisa, affirmative, my loyal brother. They set up the board game and proceed to play it together. 2 hours later, they now finish and pack the whole game back into its box. Lisa, that was sure a great game. Thanks for playing with me, Lincoln. Lincoln, you're welcome, Lisa. Lisa, let's head back upstairs now and conclude this special bonding with between us. They leave the basement and go back to the kitchen. The pills withdrawal they consumed earlier now happens. Lincoln feels a little woozy, while Lisa handles it with no problem. Lincoln, ugh. Now they reconcile in the kitchen. Lisa, now, Lincoln, before we part our ways. She hugs him tightly and reassures him that she'll always love him until the bitter end. Lisa, I want you to know that I'll never stop loving you, and I will be always accepting you in my life, dear brother. The prodigy sister now smiles at Lincoln, out of caring and love. Lisa, I may be a prodigy, but I am still your little sister, Lincoln. I still love you, my loyal brother. Lincoln, I love you too, little sis. They hug again for the last time now. Lisa, if you need some company, please, never hesitate to come to me in my room. I'll always be there to help you, emotionally or otherwise. Lincoln, thanks again, Lisa. See ya. Lisa, until then, dear brother. Lisa now heads back up to her room. Lana. Lana leaves her room to find Lincoln. She goes downstairs and finds him in the living room, looking at Cliff, who's eating some lunch, and approaches her only brother. Lana, sup, Lincoln. Lincoln, hey, Lana. Lana, wanna go to Dairyland with me? Lincoln, Dairyland. Aw, shucks. Lana, what's wrong, big bro? Lincoln, hearing that word again makes me remember 2 unfortunate times around it. Lana, like what, Lincoln? Lincoln, that vacation choice incident. Flashback to events of intense debate. The girls are still arguing and Lincoln comes down to get their attention with the instruments. Lincoln, I'm blowing the conch, I'm ringing the bell, and yet, nothing. Lynn, you. This is all your fault. Lori, yeah. If you had just made up your mind, none of this would have happened. The girls all start blaming Lincoln for their warfare on each other. Flashback ends, back to present. Lincoln, and that one time when we won Lola's pageant. Flashback to events of Toads and Tiaras. Dairyland. Lincoln and Lana are getting on the milkshaker. The ride starts and everyone on it gets green around the gills, and Lincoln throws up and gets hit by his own barf. Lana, awesome. Lincoln, my mouth was open. Flashback ends, back to present. Lana, oh I see. Lincoln, please stop blaming yourself now, it's all in the past, big bro. Lincoln, but Lana. Lana consoles him with a hug, SHHH, Linky. Everything's alright. Sure, you may made us angry at you, but you did took your time and made things right with us. Now that she thinks about it, she feels sad and guilty for one thing. Lana, and I'm sorry, Lincoln. Lincoln, you are? For what, Lana? Lana, for yelling a nasty thing during that car seat incident. Flashback to events of the sweet spot. Lincoln, you can yell all you want, but I'm already in the seat. And possession is 9/10 of the law. Lynn, threatening, you're gonna possess a bruise in a minute. The girls all glare at Lincoln, demanding him to hand over the sweet spot. Lana, get him. Flashback ends, back to present. Lana sighs, I seriously don't know what was I thinking during that time. I should have let Lori or somebody else yell such a thing like that. I'm so sorry, Lincoln. Lincoln, oh, Lana. Lana, and that's not all, Lincoln. There's also that one awful time when me and the others were very mad at you during that trophy incident. Lincoln, oh yeah, I do remember how you were there when I came back from school with Clyde. Flashback to events of making the case. Lincoln, don't worry, Clyde. My sisters will never know, but just as he opens the door, his sisters are right there, and they are incredibly furious. Lori is holding her cell phone with the video on it. Clyde, they know. Flashback ends, back to present. Lana, even though you did make up with your embarrassing videos, I should have realized that even if you didn't film me chewing up an old gum, somebody else could have done it easily. Lincoln, I see. Lana, anyway, bad memories aside, let's go have some fun, Linky. Lincoln, yeah, come on, little sis. The two leave the house and head for Dairyland. They approach the main gates and purchase 2 admission tickets. Lana, no worries, Lincoln, the tickets are on me. Lincoln, really? Lana, yeah, I got plenty of cash myself, thanks to James and Normand. Lincoln, okay then. They got the tickets, enter their destination, and we see fun and loving montage of Lincoln having some fun with his little tomboy sister. The two having rides in various attractions, playing some skill games. Lincoln wins a prize. It's a snake plush, hands it over to Lana, she happily accepts it. Their fun keeps going and going, until they have enough and leave Dairyland with sweet cotton candy, and some of prizes from games. They stand at the main gates to conclude their bonding time. Lana, now Lincoln, even though I may live a gross and disgusting lifestyle, I still love you, and will always accept you as my big brother. She hugs him out of love. Lincoln smiles at this, kneels down and returns the favor with kissing her on forehead. Lincoln, I love you too, little sis. Lana, even though I still remember those nasty times, Linky, they'll never affect my relationship with you, because we all know that keeping a grudge is not an option. Lincoln, not at all indeed, Lana. Lana, thanks for letting me spend some time with you, big bro. Lincoln, you're welcome, little sis. Lana, let's go home, Linky. Lincoln, yeah, come on, sis. They now hold each other's hands, and with all stuff from Dairyland, the two walk home. Lola. Lincoln goes to his twin sister's room, to see how's Lola doing. He looks around for a bit, until turns around and sees his beauty-loving sister, who's supposedly very angry with him. Lola, Lincoln, what have I told you about having NO class? You are way worse than Lana. Now Lincoln cowers and shakes in fear, bracing himself for the would-be brutality, but opens his eyes and sees Lola, who's actually smiling and hugging him, revealing the outburst to be fake, again. Lola, I'm just joking, Linky. How are you? Lincoln quickly regains composure, I'm all fine. Lola, that's nice to hear, Linky. Wanna go outside and eat at Spunky Pigeon's Pizza? Lincoln, I would like to, but aren't you a little low on cash? Lola, don't worry, Link, James and Normand were generous enough to give me $98. Lincoln, oh I see. Lola, so yeah. Come on. They leave the house, enter the garage. Lola gets into her battery car, and starts it up. Lola, hop in, Link. Lincoln, all right. He does so. Now the two drive out of their house, and several minutes later, they reach Spunk E. Pigeon's Pizza. The two get out of the car, and enter the pizzeria. Lola, here we are, Linky. Looks like not that many people here today. Lincoln, yep, I can tell. Lola, come on, let's sit over there. Lincoln, okay. They sit before a vacant table. A waiter approaches them. Waiter, hello there, how can I help you today? Lola, yes, I'd like 2 large pepperoni pizzas, 2 medium Sprites, and 2 ice creams, 1 strawberry, and 1 chocolate, please. Waiter, that's all? Lola, that's all. Waiter, that'll be overall $38.92. Lola pulls out her cash and counts it until it's the required amount. She pays the waiter. Waiter, thank you. Your order will be brought shortly. Lola, you are welcome, mister. Then the waiter leaves their table with written order and cash. Lola, all right, so now we wait. Lincoln, yeppers. Now Lola can apologize to Lincoln for everything she's done to him in the past. She now feels really sorry for him and guilty for every mistake she's committed against her soul brother. Lola, Lincoln. Lincoln, yes, little sis? Lola, with sad and depressed voice, I am so sorry for everything that I have committed against you over the years. Lincoln, oh. Lola, like the time I went ballistic all over you during that one time. Flashback to events of Toads and Tierras. Lincoln, hoo-hoo. That's my sister. Lola runs in, grabs and holds him against the wall with her crutch, and this is your other sister. Lincoln, wait. It's my fault, not Lana's. It was all my idea. Lola, I have worked for years to build my pageant reputation. And you just ruined it. Flashback ends, back to present. Lola, I guess that what's happens when you let your pride get the best of you. And that's not all, Linky. I'm also sorry for complaining about you reading in your just undergarments. Flashback to events of undie pressure. Lola, while looking in her mirror, sees Lincoln throwing off his shirt and pants in its reflection. Lola, gross. Lincoln, what? Lola, why do you always have to read your comics in your underpants? Lincoln, 'cause reading my comics with my clothes on is uncomfortable and distracting. Shakes his booty at Lola, and you know how I like to be comfortable while reading comics. Now, scooch, Lincoln sits between Lola and Lisa. Lola, repulsed, jumps onto the armrest. Lola, ACK. It's an annoying habit, and you get butt germs everywhere. Lincoln, me annoying? You can't look away from the mirror for 5 seconds. Lola, lies. Flashback ends, back to present. Lola, that moment should have instead taught me that no matter who you are, and where you live, you'll always have to accept that fact everyone gets their own gross tendencies. Sighs, and let's not forget that time when I have sworn with others that I'll never stop laughing at you during the whole Princess Pony incident. Flashback to events of sleuth or consequences. Lucy, excuse me, I have something to say. Gets their attention and reveals the book. This is what totaled the toilet. Lisa, Princess Pony? The sisters laugh out of amusement. Lynn, which one of you lame OS does that belong to? Lisa, certainly not me. It's so sickeningly sweet I get a toothache just looking at it. Lenny, terrified at Lisa's exaggeration, can that really happen? Luan, whoever that belongs to is gonna be the laughingstock of this house. Lori, yeah. They are literally worse than Lincoln. And he wears his underwear on the outside. The other sisters laugh some more and Lucy knows she has to face the music. Lincoln notices Lucy's pain and feels bad for her. Lucy, actually, the book belongs to Lincoln, me. Luan, Lenny, Lynn, Lana, Lola, Lisa, Lori, and Luna, flabbergasted you? Lincoln, I didn't want to tell you because I knew you'd make fun of me. Lori, sounding sympathetic, ah, Lincoln. Now condescending, of course, we're gonna make fun of you. But only for the rest of your life. Luna and Lola look at him smugly. Flashback ends, back to present. Lola, seriously, what kind of monster I was to humiliate you like that? Some sister I am. Lincoln, I see. Lola, Lincoln, we may not have great relations, like you do with Lana, but even after everything that happened, I'll always love you in my life. She smiles now that everything's been lifted from her chest. Lincoln, me too, Lola. I'll still love you too, and I forgive you. Honest. Lola, thanks, Linky. You are the best brother any little sister can ask for. Now they hug. Lola kisses him on forehead, with the latter returning the favor on cheek. They keep each other in good embrace for good 15 seconds. A couple of minutes later, their order has finally arrived. Waiter, there you go. Enjoy your meal. Lola, thanks. The waiter puts down their food and drinks, and leaves them be. Lola, alrighty. Dig in, Link. Lincoln, sure thing. Now they eat their foods and drink their ordered Sprites. Several minutes later, they're done eating, and head back outside. The two get back into Lola's princess car, the latter starts it up, and they drive back home. Lucy. Lincoln is watching some TV in the living room. Lucy comes and sits next to him. Lucy, hey, Lincoln. Lincoln, sup, Lucy. Lucy, can I join in watching some television? Lincoln, sure thing, sis. Lucy, thanks, Lincoln. As time goes on, they keep watching some TV together. Lucy decides now is the time to apologize to Lincoln for ruining his trip to Grand Vesture State Park that one time. Lucy, Lincoln, please forgive me. Lincoln, for what? Lucy, for that time I ruined your vacation with my stupid tarot cards. Flashback to events of Raw Deal. Lucy, well, the cards don't lie. Tells the rest of the sisters' fortunes, before finally telling Lincoln's, last but not least, Lincoln. She draws the card, and gasps at what she sees. Lincoln, concerned, what? What does it say? Lucy, changing the subject, so, who wants to play football? Grins casually. Lincoln, desperate, Lucy, come on. Tell me. Lucy, fine. Your day at the park will end in. Reveals the card to show the Grim Reaper, tragedy. A suspenseful music sting plays for the card as Lynn Sr. is looking through the radio. Lynn Sr., ooh, a radio station of music stings. Neato burrito, the music sting plays again as Lincoln worries about his fortune. Flashback ends, back to present. Lucy, it's even more sad from guilt, and what the heck was I even thinking to pick such miserable and hideous card for you? Lincoln, oh. Lucy, and it's all because of me you had to miss on all the fun back then. Lincoln, yeah. Lucy, I'm sorry, Lincoln, should have used those on myself, just to see how things could go in the day. Lincoln, I see. Lucy, and I'm also sorry for that moment, when I have kicked the poop out of you with others just because you changed channels that one time. Flashback to events of Roughing It. Lincoln, this show's lame. Let's watch guy stuff. Changes the channel. Sisters, HEY. Male TV announcer, a lifetime in the extreme wilderness has made rip hardcore as tough as a $2 steak. Lincoln, now this is my kind of show. Lori, scoffs, since when? Lynn Sr., oh no, turn it back. We're gonna miss the anchor ceremony. The sisters get very angry and start beating Lincoln up for the remote. Flashback ends, back to present. Lucy hangs and shakes her head in guilt and shame until she feels a warm embrace, looks up and sees Lincoln gently hugging her. Lincoln, it's all right, sis, everything's in the past now. I still forgive and love you. Lucy, sigh, you are indeed the best brother any little sister can hope for. She returns the favor and kisses him on the forehead, then they keep their embrace for 10 seconds, and break it up. Lucy, anyway, I have $169, courtesy of James and Normand. Would you like to go to Convenience store with me? I want to buy the Vampires of Melancholia DVDs. You can purchase Ace Savvy ones, if you want to, Lincoln. Lincoln, sure thing. Come on, little sis. Lucy smiles at this. They both get up and leave the house. Several minutes later, they approach the store enter. The two looks around for a bit, until they finally find DVD section. Lucy, here we are, Lincoln. Lincoln, all right, Lucy. They walk across for a bit, until they eye the Vampires of Melancholia DVDs. Lucy, there we go. Picks up 4 DVDs of her favorite TV show. You can grab Ace Savvy ones now. Lincoln, okay. Thanks though. Lucy, you're welcome, brother. The white-haired soul male grabs 2 DVDs of Ace Savvy, the animated series. Now they both approach cash register and pay for their DVDs. Now they exit the store, go back into the house, and set up their DVD player. We cut to montage of Lincoln and Lucy watching together the Vampires of Melancholia, and they keep doing so for a good amount of time. A couple of hours later, they finish watching the series, turn off DVD player, and then the TV. Lucy, okay, that's enough for now. Lincoln, all right then. Lucy, thanks for spending some with me, Lincoln. Lincoln, it was nothing, little sis. Sometime later. Now it's close to bedtime in Royal Woods. Lincoln is about to go to sleep in his room, but hears a knock on door. Lincoln, come in. Door opens to reveal Lucy. Lincoln, sup, Lucy? Lucy, Lincoln, before we go and drift in our dreams, allow me to say this. And as she said that, she hugs Lincoln out of caring and love, once again. Lucy, I'll never cast you aside in my life, brother, because you mean the world to me. Really, you do. Lincoln, returns the hug, it's all right, I'll never walk all over you too, little sis. I love you so much, Lucy. Lucy, sigh, I love you too, Lincoln. Lucy breaks the hug now. Lucy, even though I'm a dark girl and goth on outside. Then suddenly, she pushes her bangs aside to expose her anime-like and starry eyes to Lincoln, and smiles. The latter is surprised and shocked and widens eyes. Lucy, I will always remain your spooky little sister, Lincoln. And I do mean that with all my heart. She comes close to him, kisses his forehead and hugs him for the last time. Lucy, good night, Lincoln. Lincoln, sweet dreams to you too, Lucy. Now Lucy leaves for her room and shuts the door, while Lincoln is about to sleep in his room. Tomorrow, he'll be spending with his big sisters, and then the parents. To be continued in final part.